The Bear, Season 3, Episode 6, Napkins. Thoughts? This episode is rated TV MA, so will this video be. And like all other videos I've done on this show, this will feature spoilers for the episode and the ones leading up to it. I love all these episodes. Let's dive right in. So, yeah, this episode has my... Since the 2003 Charlize Theron movie, Monster, favorite... montage of a woman who really needs a job, being rejected everywhere, and gradually, being less enthusiastic and feeling more hopeless about the prospect until she eventually, expresses frustration at, one of the people she's dealing with. I would almost feel bad for Michael Cera for her, telling... Technically, she didn't say, fuck you, to him. She said, please repeat this to the, but yeah. He wasn't making eye contact like 99% of their conversation. I'm sorry, that's rude. I get it. He's got a job to do as well, but seriously. Okay, so checking the IMDb credits, apparently, yeah, I was wondering if that really was Brian David Gilbert there, the one who's overly chippy. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have a job. Can I get you, is there anything I can do for you here? A constant smile plaster on his face, which I'm sorry, if Brian David Gilbert cannot cheer you up, you are really down in the dumps. But apparently that's not him, so maybe there's a chance. I like the little details, every single time she's interacting with Louis, he's off screen, she's shouting at him to turn down, cartoons or, get his ass in there, just stuff like that. Yeah, always happy to see, I can't believe, hold on, I have the name, David Zayas. God, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He's so talented. I loved him on Dexter. Let's see, he was great in other episodes of the show as well. What was the other thing that... the detail that she doesn't tell him right away, but she does tell him that night. First she just comes home and says, oh, work was work, same old, and then, you up, which, honestly, I thought people only texted that. I wasn't aware that people did actually say that exact... Yeah. Let's see, I think that pretty much gets us to the bear, which, yeah, I mean, this episode is set before season 1, so it's appropriate that they play, I forget what it's called, but that same piece of music that played a bunch in, I think it was especially season 1, I don't offhand remember it in, yeah, oh wait, fuck. I got her. No, wait. It's Sabotage. It was Sabotage playing. It wasn't the other one. Wow. Yeah. I need to listen to more... Yeah. More music like that. I was about to say the genre, but I'm pretty sure I'd get it wrong. And I know for some reason that pisses off music fans. Which normally I'd be in favor of, but right now I don't know. A little too early in the day for that for me. Let's see. I do like the Beastie Boys in general, though. Yeah. But yeah. Intense music playing, because at this point in the in the timeline, lot of intense, yeah. And Richie, once he takes her order, he's like, okay, she needs a little bit of help, so here you go, it's on the house. And then she also gets the sandwich and the whole, yeah. Let's see, this place can't be all bad. It has free coconuts, sandwiches and coffee. And then Richie's empathy plummets when he sees her crying. He's like, dude, you gotta go tell her stop crying. Just I love how this show mixes the dramatic of her having an emotional breakdown, which is understandable. We've seen why. I appreciate that they didn't come like at the very start of the episode. They built to it, but also just the humor of like he's standing there saying like, you gotta get her out of here, man, or not necessarily get her out, but tell her to stop crying. Like he's that like it's this thing of like there's a lot of straight white men who are extremely uncomfortable around people who are just expressing emotion. Like, no, dude, just have a conversation with her. She needs and yeah, Mikey points that out. Wow, you are low on empathy. Your empathy is low. You don't think much of chicks. But and also Neil playing the game and let's see. I think it was Mikey making fun of him, said, "Oh, I gotta go see the wizard," kind of thing. And yeah, I appreciate that John Bernthal really loves playing these really intense, often like military or cop roles. I love him in those. I really do love him in these kind of roles where he is a little bit more sensitive. He also did, great stuff like that in his Walking Dead, appearances. Just he really does nail that. There's a lot of really badass people who can't really do like a more sensitive kind of thing particularly well. But yeah, them talking about how shitty, how shitty their lives are, the situation and such. And we get a mention of the exploding toilet, which, we saw it explode in, I want to say season 1. I forget if they might have even mentioned that point. Oh yeah, this happens all the time. Let's see. Right, and it's linked to, we see that this is the when Carmi sent that picture, this was when I don't know, I kind of assumed that was just, I mean, I did notice that she wasn't in her work clothes. I kind of just thought, oh, it's so early in the morning, she hasn't changed yet, maybe, or something, but no, that was the actual, and I like the thing with, I got a resume. Because she's so stuck in the mindset of like, oh, job interview, right, resume, smile, and introduce myself with this. All that's also only then does he get her name. That was And let's see, I think that pretty much covers. I did really appreciate this is part of why she was so hostile towards Sid, who, by the way, I'm gonna try to get her name right. Ayo Edebiri. She directed this episode. It was her directorial debut. She knocked it out the park. Let's see, and part of her hostility towards Sydney early on was, this is another one of these fucking kids coming and taking my job, and making it so difficult for me to get by. That was, so really appreciated that. I always figured it was, she never felt like she was just being a jerk for absolutely no reason. It's one of those things of like, Sid isn't doing anything to deserve that level of hostility, but Tina is picked up for her, and sometimes that happens in real life if if you don't express it in a healthy way early on, it's just going to build and build until eventually you just explode.